Suppose someone that you know or that you are close to, they begin to grasp and cling to the misinformation or the bad teachings of apostates, and then they want to share it with you. What would you do? Well, to answer that, please give your attention to the following dramatization.
Bethel's nice, but you have to think about your future.
If people could hear your truth, you would be an encouragement to so many people.
When I was your age, they told me all the time that the end could come tomorrow. But look at us. We're still here, and we've been able to make it.
What's wrong?
I'm worried about them. They're different.
Yeah. I kind of felt that too.
You know, whenever I ask him how things going in their congregation, he won't give me a straight answer.
Really?
And he's always shifting the conversation to something negative about the organization.
How? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. But I sure hope I'm wrong.
Hey, Justin, I want you to read this article I just sent you. It's gonna change the way you see the organization. Get back to me. Did you get that message I sent you?
Why would you send that to me? Better yet, why are you reading that garbage? It's all lies.
Garbage? How do you know if it's garbage if you haven't even read it?
Isn't that a good point? How do you know it's garbage? How do you know it's lies if you haven't even read it? This is the message that's going out to Jehovah's Witnesses at this year's convention. Dismiss anything that is critical of the organization. Don't even look at it. The minute you've identified that it even might be negative, just immediately discard it. That's what Jehovah's Witnesses are supposed to do. And it begs the very obvious question, how can we identify something as misinformation if we're not even allowed to examine it and apply critical thinking skills? Because all along in this talk so far, we've been hearing about apostates spreading misinformation. We haven't heard a single example. In fact, I'm telling you now, they will not give you a single example of an argument that apostates like myself will put across when debunking Jehovah's Witness teachings or policies. They don't give you a single example of what this misinformation is. And you would think if it really is misinformation, they would have any number of examples to give, where they could very simply say, apostates say this, but we know it's a lie because here's the evidence. Here's the slam dunk evidence of apostates lying. They can't do that because unfortunately for them, we're right. And their religion is wrong. So all they can do is make Jehovah's Witnesses terrified of agents of Satan who are going around spreading poison. And it was interesting when Justin and Shayla were sat there at the table and Justin starts complaining about his friend Chris for being different. And he's like, you know, whenever I ask him how things are going on in the congregation...
You know, whenever I ask him how things going in their congregation, he won't give me a straight answer.
So apparently that's something Jehovah's Witnesses have got to do now, is constantly ask each other, if they happen to be in different congregations, that is, how are things going in the congregation? In other words, do checks on each other to make sure you are still actually attending meetings regularly. So there's this culture of paranoia developing within the organization where witnesses have to be second guessing the extent of each other's loyalties. And if you're not making the right noises, if you're saying anything that could be construed as in any way critical of the organization, you go on the naughty list.
Listen, you need to talk with your elders, because you need help. And if you don't speak to them, I will.
Wow, that's what you feel. I need help. I don't need any help, man. I'm finding the answers to my questions, bro, and I'm keeping an open mind.
Open mind? You're ignoring Jehovah's thinking. The truth saved our lives.
Look, man, how long have we known each other? I would never steer you wrong. I'm not out to hurt you. I'm trying to help you. How long have you known me?
To tell these stones to become loaves of bread.
I'm trying to share with you the truth.
Throw yourself down.
Do you really think I would steer you wrong?
I will give you all this authority.
I definitely don't need any help from them.
Do an act of worship before me. Go away, Satan!
Stop. There's only one truth, and it comes from Jehovah.
You're gonna walk away like that? What are you so afraid of? Man, stop being a coward. Don't be weak. They're just telling you what you need to do. You need to think for yourself.
For it is written, it is Jehovah your God you must worship. And it is to him alone you must render sacred service.
Wasn't that a powerful dramatization? What is depicted here is truly a sad reality of what exists today. But did you note how the family in the video strengthened themselves by considering the example of Jesus Christ? How Jesus' example helped them to stand firm and resist the negative influences of the family who were overreached by Satan and apostate thinking.
Yes, overreached by misinformation, which we still don't know what it is. We just know that it's automatically lies if it disagrees in some way with the organization. Interesting as well that Dura Thompson said this is a sad reality that exists today, which goes back to what I was saying about how desperate the organization must be for them to be putting out this material. I mean, this is not a good look to an impartial observer. Remember, the conventions, they give out invitations to members of the public so that members of the public can attend these conventions and see for themselves what the Jehovah's Witness religion is all about. I mean, if you're sat in this part of the program, you're surely going to be thinking, something's a bit wrong here, you know. They're not giving any examples of quote-unquote misinformation. And what they've just shown are two friends breaking up, or one friend walking away, running away from another friend, simply for showing him some information that debunks the religion. And some of the stuff that Justin was saying was also very interesting. This is the truth that saved our lives. There's only one truth. Truth, truth, truth. Which is just the equivalent of just putting his hands over his ears and saying, la, 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 I can't hear you, I have the truth. If it's the truth, it should be able to stand up to any kind of scrutiny or any kind of information that this Chris has to offer. Ultimately, this is clearly not about defending the truth, is it? There's no defense involved in getting in a car and driving away when your friend is trying to reason with you. That's not defending anything. That's just fleeing. And I was annoyed as well when they depicted Chris as shouting coward, which wouldn't be the right thing to do in that situation. Again, there are lots of scenarios in this series of dramatizations where they show Chris and Nikki, these two apostates, just doing and saying things that are in bad taste or impolite or rude in some way. And this is all very deliberate. Again, they want to paint apostates as bad people, that there could be no such thing as a polite, respectful apostate. So they need to put some kind of aggression in somewhere in Chris's behavior, and they managed to do it as Justin is driving away. But again, really, really bad luck if anyone is attending this convention trying to keep an open mind about Jehovah's Witnesses, not having been indoctrinated into the Jehovah's Witness belief system. There should be just all sorts of red flags that here is an organization that refuses to allow anyone to apply any kind of critical thinking.